Okay, here we go. Number one, Clara and Michelle's parents are saving for college. In 1998, Clara's parents started with $2,500 and are increasing the investment by $500 each year. Michelle's parents started with $2,500 and increasing the investment by 10% each year. If X represents the number of years since 1998, about what year will Michelle's college fund first exceed Clara's college fund? Okay? So what is it asking? When what?
When will be bigger than her?
Very good. So Anaya saying exceed means to be bigger. So we're looking for when Michelle's college fund is going to be bigger than Clara's college fund. Okay? All right. So let's go up here. We'll start with Clara because that's what it starts with. And we're going to make a y equals. Y'all know that's our first step. We're going to make a y equals. How much does she start with? 2,500. Okay? And you have to be careful. This one's increasing by what?
500.
So, should I do parentheses 1 plus 500? No. This one's increasing by $500 each time. This one is not exponential, it's linear. Okay? Very good. Plus 500x. That one is linear. Okay? Now, Michelle, for that one, the y equals, the starting value is the same thing, 2,500. That one's increasing by, when I see a percent sign, that means it's going to be the exponential. So that's when I do the parentheses 1 plus 10, 0.10. Okay, move it 2 places so it becomes 0.10. Where does the x go? At the top. Okay. All right. Do you want to use calculator or Desmos? Either way, they have their pros and cons. Calculator or Desmos? Calculator. Calculator? Okay. In your calculator, you go to your y equals. In your calculator, you go to your y equals. And you put 2,500 plus 500x in the first one. Do this with me, please. Type it in. 2,500 plus 500x in the first line. And then in the second line, you type in the other equation. 2,500 parentheses 1 plus 0.10 to the x. Okay? If you don't have a calculator and you're using Desmos, you type this in one line and that in the other line.
Okay. Paper.
Sorry. Okay. Do y'all have them both in? Okay. Then we go to second window. Oh, I think it did. I think it was cut off. But thank you. Okay. This is where the X are starting. X represents the number of years since 1998. So I'm not typing in 1998 because it's the number of years since then. What year do you want to start at? How many years since 1998? 1. Okay. 1 would be a good place to start. And then I go to second window. And I'm going to write on the TV, but unfortunately you can't write on your calculator. This first line, was this Clara or Michelle?
Clara.
That was Clara, and this is Michelle. Okay, that's Clara and that's Michelle. I want Michelle's college fund to be bigger than Clara. I want Michelle's to be bigger. Let's see. Nope, 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 nope. I want Michelle's to be bigger. Nope. Nope. Nope.
15.
Yes. Okay, right here. At 15, Michelle's is bigger than Clara's. Okay, so it took how many years? 15 years. Eli, go ahead and go to Desmos, please. Okay, so it took 15 years. Emerson, you need to go to Desmos too if you don't have a calculator. It took 15 years. 15 is not an answer choice. Uh-huh. Very good. 1998 plus 15. What does that give you? 2013. Okay, so the answer is A. Okay. Questions? All right, number 2, the population of one type of algae can be modeled by the equation P equals 3 1.75 to the T, where T is the time in days. The second type of algae has a population modeled by the equation P equals 500 plus 100T. Approximately how many days are the populations equal? Somebody tell me something to highlight. Good. When are they going to be equal? Very good. That's important. What else should I highlight? The first equation and the second equation. Okay? Go to your y equals, or if you're using Desmos, you're putting both equations in Desmos. Y equals, put them both in. Instead of a T, you just use what? X. Okay? You just use an X instead of the T. Okay, and we are gonna use what well, okay, never mind. So second window, what do you want to tell it to start at? 1 is fine. And I'm trying to find when they are equal. Okay, so this is a question I got from the test. So this could be on the test. It says approximately when will they be equal, and you have to go with the best answer. What was the best answer? Let's go back up to 4. At 4, are they equal at all? No. What about at 5? Nope. 10? No. 11? They're the closest. Okay, it's not a great answer. I agree with you. It's not a great answer, but 11 is where they are the closest. Okay. Okay. All right, number 3, given f of x equals x plus 6, g of x equals 2 to the x minus 4, approximately what value of x will they be what?
Equal.
Well, they will be equal again. Okay. All right, so you're putting 1 in y1. X plus 6 and 2 to the x minus 4. All right, I don't know if y'all remember what Simone said we could do yesterday when we go to second window. You could plug in each answer choice because all of these are x's. This is x equals 2.8, x equals 3.2, x equals 4, and x equals 6. Those are all x values. So if I go to 2.8 and then I go to second window, are they equal? No. If I go to 3.2 and then second graph, are they equal? No. What about if I go to 4, 10 and 12, and then 6 is 12 and 60. So the best one is 4. Okay. All right. Number 4, Terry's given 2 salary options with his employer. The first option has a starting salary of what? $20,000, and it increases by $500 each year. He's with the company. The second option is a starting salary of $20,000, increases 2.2% each year. Okay. After how many years will he have to be with a company for the second option to be greater for the salary with the first option? Okay. Can somebody give me the y equals for his first option?
20,000.
Good. 20,000 plus 500x. Okay. What about his second option?
20,000.
Point. Okay, you move it 2 places so it has an empty spot to the x power. Okay. All right, go ahead and put those in your y equals for me. Okay. All right. When you get them in, and you go to second graph. Whew. Okay. Got them in second graph. All right. Which one is the first option? Y1 is the first option, right? And Y2 is the second option. And we want the salary with the second option to be greater, okay? So I'm looking for the second one to be bigger. When does that happen?
13.
Yep. At 13 years, the second one is bigger than the first one. Okay. Okay. What's important about number 5? No calculator. Okay? No calculator. This was on the... Yeah, but it said, what is the first year? That will happen. Okay? This was on the exam last year on the no calculator part. Okay? So, what does it mean by integer value? What does an integer mean it has to be? A whole number, okay? Positive or negative, whole number, okay? What number do you want to plug in first? What would be a good place to start? Okay, so, all right. Let's do, let's make a chart. X, F, and G, okay? Let's make a chart. And we're going to start with X being 0. So write this down. Write it down. If I write it, you should write it. So X is 0. Okay? If I plug a 0 in right here without a calculator, does anybody remember what happens when you have something to the 0 power? It makes it 1. So what's 1/2 times 1? 1/2. Okay? Now we're going to plug 0 into this one. 5 times 0 is?
0.
Plus 2 is? 2. Okay? All right, what is the largest integer value of X such that F is less than or equal to G? Is F less than or equal to G?
Yeah.
Yes. but they want the largest possible number. So let's try 1. Let's try 1. So if I plug in a 1 here, it's 2 to the first, which is 2. 2 times a half is 1, so you get a 1 for that one. If you plug in 1 here, 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. Is F still less than or equal to G? Yes. Okay. All right, let's plug in 2. Okay. 2 squared. 4. Half of 4.
2.
So this one gives you 2. If you plug in 2 here, 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. All right, let's try 3. 2 to the third power? 8. Very good. Times a half? 4. And 5 times 3 is? Plus 2 is? 17. Oh, let's keep going. What about 4? 2 to the 4th? Yep, 16, and half of that is 8. 5 times 4 is?
20.
Plus 2 is? 22. 2 to the 5th? Oh, 32. Half of 32? 16. I think we're getting closer. 5 times 5 is? Plus 2 is? 27. All right, 2 to the 6th? 64. What's half of 64? 32. If you plug in a 6 here, 5 times 6 is? Plus 2 is 32. Okay, so I think we found it. So what is the largest integer value of x? Which one is the largest x where it's less than or equal to? 6. Okay, if we do it again, it will become, well, it would become 7, but what would happen here?
It'd be different numbers.
F would be bigger than G. Okay, so the answer is 6. Okay. Whew, that's a hard one. Okay. 3 problems left. 3 problems left. Number 6. Since January 2010, a grape farmer has been growing red and green grapes. The number of red grapes on the vines can be modeled by the function f of x, where x is the number of years since 2010. The number of green grapevines can be modeled by the function g of x, where x is the number of years since January 2010. And what year will the number of each type of grapevine be equal? This one's calculator active. Okay, so I'm putting these in Desmos or in Y1 and Y2. Stick with me, 3 more problems. Stick with me, go to your Y equals, type it in. I know it's hot in here. 3 more. Type them in. Okay, I've got them in second window. I'm gonna tell it to start at 1 because I don't know what my x values are. And I want them to be what? Equal. You wanna circle or highlight that. You want them to be equal. Okay, you want them to be equal. And so, okay, we're going to use our answer choices to our advantage. 2013, if it started in 2010, how many years is that? 3. So I'm looking at 3. They're close. 2015, I'll look at 5. They're still close. 2017, I'll look at 7. They're getting closer. What about 2019? They're the closest in 2019. So the answer is D. Okay? Bless you. Okay? All right, number 7, Cindy invested $2,800. The function v of t models the value of her investment after y months. The function s of t models the amount of money that Cindy has in her safe after t months. Which function c of t models the combined value of the investment and the money in the safe? What's the key word here? Somebody said it. Combined value. Good. Highlight, circle, underline. It's asking for the combined value, circle, underline. What does combine mean to do? Add it. So you are adding 28,000, 1.025 to the x, write it down, plus 10t. Okay? Oops, sorry. This one should have been... No, that's what, never mind. That's right. Okay, so you're adding those two things together. Can you combine anything?
Nope. No.
Nothing can be combined. Why not? There's no like terms, okay? So what is the answer?
D.
D. Okay, I just put them together. All right, and number 8, the population of 2 cultures of bacteria A and B after X hours are shown below. Which statement is a correct comparison of bacteria's A and B? Okay. All right, so we're looking for a statement that is correct. Okay. All right, the initial population. Initial means the starting value, the y-intercept, of bacteria B. What did this one start at approximately? 75, okay, is more than the initial population of A. What did A start at? The initial population of bacteria. What did A start at for bacteria? 100. So was B more than A? No. Okay, so A is not correct. Okay. Sorry, I marked out the wrong one. Let's look at B. The populations of A and B will never be equal at the same time. We don't know that yet. Let's see if there's another answer. The population of bacteria B is greater than the population of bacteria A after 3 hours. We would have to figure that out too. And the rate of growth of bacteria B is less than the rate of growth of bacteria A. Okay, so all of these are things we would have to figure out. What can I do with this one? Put it in stat. So let's do that real quick. Put it in stat. All right, put it in stat. Exponential. Okay, so stat, calc, exponential. All right, so I'm going to write that down. Y equals 100, parentheses 1.2 to the x. Y equals 100, 1.2 to the x. I've got several people doing this one in Desmos. Guys, look up here real quick. Let me show you something in Desmos. If you click add a table, you can put them in 0, 1, 2. And then over here, 100, 120, 144. And then you would click this one, and you type Y1, and then you do shift tilde. It's next to the 1 on the keyboard. And then you do A, B to the X1, and it gives you your equation right there. What? You click the plus? and the table. Okay. Okay, for this one, we would need to pick some points to put in stat. So what is 1 point we could put in? 0.75, and let's see, it looks like it crosses there. What could I put in? I'm gonna say 100. 1 and 100. And then 2 and 140, that's close enough. Okay, 2 and 140. All right, let's put those in stat real quick. Stat, edit, 0, 1, 2, 75, 100, and 140. And do your exponential. Okay, y equals 74.4 parentheses 1.37 to the x. So I'm rounding that. So I go 74.4, 1.37 to the x. Okay, what do I do with the two equations?
Compare them.
Where do I put them in the calculator?
Y equals.
Y equals. So go to your y equals, type both of them in, last problem. So the first equation's 100. All right, type in these two equations, 100, 1.2 to the x. And then y2 is 74. 0.4, 1.37 to the x. All right, what are you telling it to start at? 1. Okay, let's look at our answer choices again. A and B will never be equal. Those of you doing it in Desmos, if they're going to be equal, they would have to do what? Intersect. Eli, you got it in Desmos? Emerson, do you have it in Desmos? Cameron, do you have it in Desmos? Y'all are killing me. Let's hit graph on our calculator and look at the graph in here, though I don't like the calculator graphing feature. There's one. Yeah, I don't like it. Sorry, guys. 1.2 to the x. And what's the other one? 74.4, 1.37 to the x. Do these intersect? Let's see. Wrong way. Do these intersect?
Yeah.
Yes, they do intersect. So will they be equal at some point? Yeah, so it's not B. The population of B is greater than the population of A after 3 hours. Go to your table and go down to 3. Is B bigger than A?
Yep.
So the answer is C. See you after lunch.